Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to the final pre-release of Minecraft 1.9, the Combat Update. By the time you are watching this, the full version should be out, with the official release date being Monday, February 29th, 2016, which also happens to be Leap Day, so we won't have another one of these for a few years yet. Hopefully, Minecraft 1.10 will be out before then. Now, I wanted to go through the last handful of features and changes for pre-releases 3 and 2, but there's still some mysterious stuff in here, which we'll get into in a second. First off, I wanted to mention, developer Serge had a very cryptic tweet where he talked about a hidden feature that's possibly in one of the pre-releases, and people have not found that yet, so we don't know what that is. It could be something minor like a map maker change or a feature like that, but we won't know until somebody stumbles upon it. So it is kind of intriguing. I hope it's, something cool that just completely goes over people's heads, and then the full version comes out and someone will find it. Now, I wanted to show a little bit of change to the Nether here. So I built, kind of a fancy special Nether portal over here. Even though this creature is associated with the end, I figured I'd make one for another portal. Now, if I go in here, my frame rate is gonna go crazy low. I've realized that in the pre-releases and probably the full release of 1.9, the Nether is really laggy when you first enter. I get like 3 frames per second, and then it jumps up to several hundred. So I've got a pretty decent computer. I'm just hoping that people, if your computer is not that great, I don't want people to not be able to go into the Nether or get killed in those laggy first seconds. So hopefully they do something about that. Maybe we'll get a 1.9.1 pretty soon. I see you there, little pig man. But the big fix that they did change in this pre-release for the Nether is they made players invulnerable when you go through dimensions, not just in the Nether, but also with the end. A lot of people were going through the Nether in previous snapshots and things, and they were getting killed before they could even do anything. So that was a big issue. You still have to be careful, though, especially if you get some lag when you go through. You might walk right into lava or off a cliff. So do be careful regardless of having a little bit of invulnerability to help you out. Now, they added some new sound events one new one actually. The rest of them were all in the game before but removed. But now we have our creepy wolf howl. Everybody loves that one. Not implemented in the game, but they put it back in, so maybe someday. The cat hiss, that's a great sound too. And this one is called Ghast Scream. There's a few others with small slimes jumping, notes plinging. Most of these are sound effects that are used by servers and map makers and aren't actually in the game, but they were taken out. I'm glad they got back in. Now there is one sound here at the end that's very mysterious. It's called Player Breath, and if we play it, it's kind of creepy. I almost think it would be something to do with the Wither. But I might regret saying this, but it almost sounds like what I would think Herobrine would sound like breathing. So I don't want to start anybody looking for Herobrine deep in the game's code. But yeah, that is a little creepy. I set this up too, there we go. The dragon even flaps his mouth as he breathes out a little bit of that dragon breath, just to make that portal a little more special. So yeah, they added in some of those back into the game, basically. Those weren't necessarily new, except for the breath. Horses are actually slightly smaller than before, even donkeys as well. There's a horse. They're usually 1.4 blocks, but they're like 1.3964844, very slightly smaller. You lost a little weight, didn't you? But I don't think most players can tell. They did kind of slim down a few of the mobs' models in previous Snapshot, but it's barely noticeable. I think it's mostly, especially with the horse, to make sure you can fit through different blocks and not suffocate when you're riding one, but it is nice. They did change some subtitles, and this is a very minor change, but it's nice. It gives these magma cubes and slimes a little more of a cute flair. It says slime squishes, you can see in the bottom right, and magma cube squishes instead of jumps when they jump around, so that's a little minor change, and they got rid of those other subtitles. Now, projectiles, if you would throw one of these on the ground and then throw one out of your hand, this counts for like potions and snowballs, ender pearls, things that you would throw. You would see in the old versions that the one that you threw and the one on the ground would be very different sizes, but now they match up. They're pretty much the same scale, as you can see if you look quick enough with these snowballs. So They made that consistent, which is nice, and they also changed some of the handling of the R little kind of integer, whatever you want to call it, in commands. When you do radius and stuff, when you're selecting entities, you used to base that position, when you use that, it would be based on the block that an entity was standing on rather than the entity itself, but now it zeroes in on these guys rather than messes with the block. So that's kind of a map maker thing, but it is nice that they've made that more exacting. And last but not least, the credits now have some changes to make sure that some of the newer programmers and developers are getting credit where credit is due. So I'll try to pronounce these names, but Thomas Guillaume-Britier is now credited as a game designer, programmer, graphics artist, and then Samuel Abberg is credited for music and sound. So they did have some stuff. I think he was the one responsible for all the new sound effects that we got in, which is one of the big features in 1.9. And then last but not least, Eric Broaz, which I believe is Grum, the developer that's been around for a while. He isn't just listed as programming, he's listed for game design, programming, and graphics. So he's been doing a lot more in 1.9. That is it, though, guys. That's pretty much it. We're going to hopefully find that secret feature from Serge sometime here. But 1.9 is officially in the bag. We'll probably get a little, 0.1, 0.2 updates in the future. And a lot of people have saying 2.0 is next, but the developers have said 1.10 would follow and not 2.0. I don't think they want the pressure of making a 2.0 of Minecraft. They would have to have some crazy changes. And with how long 1.9 took to come out, it took over a year, I think they might scale things down for the next update, maybe do something a little easier or quicker. But that is it. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me in this goofy dragon head for the whole 1.9 update. This head thing has been here since the beginning as well. The first snapshot, we got it. Now, for now, that's probably going to be it for snapshots and pre-releases. I will cover any updates, like I mentioned, the 0.1s and 0.2s and stuff like that. I've got something in mind for 1.9 that involves the elytra wings, the dragon head, and a pufferfish, if you can believe it. And I'll leave it there, hopefully cryptic enough for you guys to be interested. That will be coming in the future, so I'll have a 1.9 series. But for now, that is pretty much it for updates. Thank you guys again so much for sticking with me. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys on the other side in the combat update. Goodbye.